Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome to beautiful Lake Poway. We have a tropical hurricane influence, and it's nice and cool out here. We have all this cloud cover, and I'm about to run JetStepper Prototype 4 with the special color coordinated tape. And this has that little outrunner in it. And a soft start on the motor, so maybe this won't launch. I have a problem with the rescue boat. The receiver isn't receiving, and I don't know why. So fortunately, I have a fishing pole, and we have the breeze blowing towards shore. So my plan for this will be to stay upwind. And we have a lot of right and not much left, okay? That will work. So, oh, and I'm wearing the totally inappropriate shoes again. And I think the lake level is coming up. They're filling the lake again. Okay, here we go, boys and girls. This is a test. It doesn't like this rough water. That might be the limit of power for this thing. Keeping it on the water with this is a challenge. That's full throttle. Full trigger, full trigger, full trigger, full trigger. It might do better on smooth water. Uh-oh. It's beeping at me. It didn't like something I did. I may have melted something. Let's see, is there smoke and flames? Now let me get a fishing pole. Jet out. Okay, boys and girls, Jet back here. And here's the post-mortem on this. It looks like the battery wires got hot enough to melt the foam right there. So that tells me I need a smaller propeller with this motor. This motor didn't get hot. The motor's way cool, but it's drawing more current. Then I think that's like a 10 amp speed control. I might have to bump this up to a 20. But you saw how it was getting close to the limit of where this thing could go. Playing with CG and such, you might be able to get some improvements. But that's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for the choice. This is getting close. This is getting close. The motor coupler held up. It was nice and quiet. I really think a smaller prop. Now this, let me see if I can zoom in here. This is a cut down plastic 430, and it's probably 28 millimeters, maybe 27. So maybe a cut down 427. I have another battery, so if everything's copacetic, I may try this a little while later. Wayne is supposed to show up, but so he may have waned on something, so we don't know. So I'm going to jet out for a bit, and I'll come back with the little pointy Redbird thing and see how that goes. So until then, jet out. Okay, boys and girls, here we are, ready for another Edward D. Wood quality video. Maybe the subject, the Redbird here, will be in the view. Maybe it won't. So today we're trying out a longer rudder, a different rudder angle, and move the CG back just a little bit. And The drizzle has stopped. The lake is smooth as can be. Might try the JetStepper again, maybe with a smaller prop. So here we go. Let's hope this is in the view. It still chine marks quite a bit. But I think that's what this little sucker is supposed to do. Let's see if the self-righting feature works. I moved the CG and I put the battery off to the side and, well, shazam, the self-righting feature does not work. Oh, well, I'm having a big bee day out of the lake. Nothing's working. Well, I'll get the fishing pole. Are we still recording? Yes, now. It doesn't corner that well. Still spinning out. Got to work on that. Maybe I'll move the rudder angle forward some more. Let's see if we can take a close look at it. Maybe I'm just pushing the limits of that haul. It was supposed to run with a speed 400 motor, so this is kind of pushing its envelope. I meant to do that. Right here in front of me. I didn't mean to do that. Did it just self-right? I'm trying to flip it here in front of me. All I'm doing is getting myself wet. There we go. Son of a gun! It did self-right. It just doesn't do it every time. I'm trying to flip it. Got to get a little further out to see. Oh well, until next time, folks, jet out. Okay, boys and girls, here's the post-mortem on the Redbird. Not a drop of water in it. And I'll show you what I did to the drive shaft in an upcoming video. Maybe when I'm, you know, my after-run maintenance, because after the run, I always prepare them up for the next run so they're ready to go. Battery temperatures were 95. ESC was 94. The motor was 88. So everything's good with that prop. Still working on the spinning out in the turns. It's not nearly as bad. And I'm thinking I can take this block that the rudder sits on and just put a little bit more angle in it and bring that rudder forward just a little bit more. Right now it's about 90 degrees to the line between here and here. But I'm thinking it needs to be a little bit more forward to plant that rear end. You see, I've got the speed control all the way back as far that way as I can. Got the battery as far that way as I can. And sometimes it will self-right. Sometimes it won't. And I just don't know why that is. I mean, my vent holes are in the right places here, so it should work. As long as I got air coming out, water should come in. So I don't know. I don't have any other place to put my servo. My receiver doesn't weigh anything anyway, and I like it there because it's out of the way. So there you go, boys and girls. This thing is a semi-success. The JetStepper 4 was a semi-success. Needs a bigger speed control and a smoother pond. I may try it one more time just with this smooth water to see what happens. And I won't run it very long. So until then, jet out. Okay, YouTubers, we're going to take one more try with the JetStepper 4. Same setup. Now the wind's come up again, but it's not too bad. I'm going to have to stay real close to shore and try to stay in this little smooth stuff. I just want to see how well it does. Oh, I didn't even change the prop. Should have changed the prop. I'll just give this 1 or 2 passes. You know what? YouTubers, stand by. It takes nothing to do a prop change when you use a little piece of fuel tube for a prop nut. Okay, tubers, here we are. I put the little prop that was on my 12-inch challenge boat. So that's like 24, 25 millimeters. It's really small. And it sort of scoots. Okay, we're going to bring it back in. Because I did something real wonky on that prop, and I don't want to lose it. Okay, boys and girls, that's enough testing for now. We'll debrief later. Jet out. Okay, YouTubers, just a quick post-mortem here to review what happened. Motor temperatures, ice cold. ESC temperatures, ice cold. Battery temperatures, ice cold. I'm pushing more current than these little wires can handle, so I'll go for a bigger speed control. It's probably, you know, these are 10 amp wires and I'm probably pulling 12 amps. Something I noticed while it was running on the smooth water, that when it got up on step and ran really well, the back end seemed a little bit high. So in future iterations, I'm not going to run the prop nearly as deep as this particular version. I think on the later versions, number 5 and even number 6, the paper mache was a little shallower than that. Props are going to be a problem. This motor seems to be adequate. It's quick enough. Got to find a prop that works with it. It liked this little cut down prop, but I didn't like the angle it kind of took when it took off. Although thinking about it, it forms a wedge and keeps it from blowing off the water. So that's something for thought too. So anyway, you guys that are building these things, you see the problems when you're designing something that's never been done before. So Steve, keep everything coming. Vinny, I don't know if you're working on one or not. And Big B's got way too many other irons in the fire. This is the last thing he needs to fool around with something like this. So there you go, boys and girls. We want you guys. You know who needs to chime in is Paul from UK and Sweet Accord. Those are a couple of guys that actually know a lot about this hobby, and they might be able to come up with something really interesting. So throwing the challenge out to you guys. So there you go. I think I'm done here at the lake. This is okay. It needs some prop work. I don't know how readily available this particular motor is. I bought 5 of them, but you know, this is kind of a dime a dozen RC helicopter or RC drone motor. I don't know what the KV is, but I can report back to that, or back to you on that at a later date if this is the way to go. This drive shaft coupler, I like it. I like it a lot. Although future versions, I may go to a 2mm drive shaft, and I'll wind up putting a collar up on here that'll be big enough for the tube to go on. So we'll talk about that. I think there's something commercially available for motors to upsize the motor pinion and just put some green sauce and green sauce it onto the shaft. And that way the shaft will have to pull out from this end. So you have to pull the motor and shaft as a unit, but that's not that bad. I mean, it's just 2 bolts and the motor comes out. So there you go, boys and girls. Until next time, jet out.